Why, hello, friends. I haven't done a Blender video for a while, so I figured I'd come in and I'd do one. I'm using UE 5.1, and so in that, we actually don't need a sizing done. We just need to match the tire size to this size. Basically, we've imported part of the vehicle from Unreal 5.1, so we just need to match the tire size, otherwise things get a little messed up here. So that's what we're going to do today. If you're not using the same program, feel free to join me anyways and just follow along to kind of pick up the steps for your own version of whatever you're making. Sound good? Great. Let's get started. Now I'm just going to flip that. That's the wrong way. It's been a while since I've been in here. Well, I guess not. I'm always making something, but it's been a while since I've been making cars, I should say. So hopefully it's going to turn out great. It usually does, but I have figured out a few new tricks that we're going to use today or implementing today. So we'll see how that goes. So what I want to do, this lower one here is actually the center of the tire. So I want to try to basically put that on this dot here. Probably don't want our tires to be that big. So let's come down a little bit until it kind of makes sense for the vehicle. Looks like we're a little high still. We'll come up here. Something like that. Let's shrink it down a little more. Something like that. We're just going to make one tire to start off. We're going to make it a little different than we did. I've done ones where we added tread. It seems to just cause issues, to be honest. So we're going to go a different way with that today. Do it a different way. We're not going to add tread. We're just going to make a nice tire. And then what I would do is when you're in the game, I would probably add a decal to show tread on your tire. It would probably be the easiest way and the best way. So we're just going to, oh, you know what, we're not going to do that. We're going to highlight each face on each side like this and shift to grab both. And then we're going to hit Control B. And I'm in edit mode if you didn't notice. I hit tab to switch there. I'm sorry, I should explain that. So that doesn't look right. It's just one angle. So we're going to change the bevel. And I'm usually around 6 to 8. We'll go 8 today. Something like that. It doesn't quite look right because we changed the bevels after. So I'm going to undo and just redo it. And try to find a comfortable spot where it's kind of wrapping into the tire and the tire looks good. And it's going to leave us a nice size for our hubcap. Or our rim, sorry. It'd be our rim. Then we're going to grab this face, shift, grab that face, and we're going to hit I. Just going to come in just a little bit like that. And then we're going to hit E, and we're not going to do this. We're going to right click, but then we're going to go like this, and we're just going to wheel it in just a little bit like so. Okay? Now we're going to go I, and we're going to go all the way to the center. What we want our center mass to be around. It's probably around that. That might be a little bit big, but we may shrink the tire a bit after. Then we're just going to pull them together, and it's just going to make a little bevel in there in the tire for it leans in on both sides. We're just going to keep it even on either side of the tire, and that's all the detail we're going to do on this tire for now. Is if you want to do a bit more, feel free to just pause the video. But I just feel like that's all we're really going to need in this game. This isn't a car specialty game that I'm using, so that's all the detail I'm going to put into it. But before I do anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and color it. Oops. So we're going to click this up here. I'm going to click this down here. We're going to go New. We're still in edit mode, so that's where we need to be. And I'm going to go dark black, assign. If you're not seeing the assign, you need to go over here and push tab to make sure you're in edit mode. It won't show up unless it's in edit mode. And then we're going to go, okay, grab this with left click, shift left click, control left click, all the way around the tire. We're going to go plus, new, and we're going to add a second color to this tire. It's going to be a silver color. Now this part gets a little tricky. It's a little harder to grab. Remember, you can use the hand up here to move around if you need to. Or, just hold the middle button on your mouse where you can sway back and forth freely. It's going to get a little tricky. You can zoom in with rolling your mouse forward. but you're going to have to try to get a hold of all those and use your little hand to move around if you need to. We need to get a hold of that whole edge there. So find a spot, and you can only control so far before it gets messed up. So maybe like 3 or 4 before you're going to have troubles. And if you make a mistake, just hit the undo button, and I'll show you where that is, right here. So if you misclick, it should take you to the last place before you misclicked. Okay? Not a big deal. Take your time. If you're having troubles, pause the video. Not a big deal, though. We all have troubles clicking things like that sometimes. And the color window isn't the best for seeing things, but we need to do it here to color it, really. So there we go. Oops, I missed it, see? It happens to everybody. Oh, it was on a new color. I accidentally made a new color. Assign. So that should be right now. Yes. Okay. Okay, unfortunately, we have to do the same thing on the other side. So if you need to, move your tire out a bit so you can see it. You probably don't have this piece in your way, and you may be doing it for different Unreal or Unity or whatever, so that's fine too. If it's not in your way, well, you're lucky. Alright, we'll make that gray. I didn't mean to add a third color here. I don't really think it matters though. And again, why we're doing this now is if we color this now, we don't have to do it later, basically, where we'd have to do 4 tires when we repeat this 4 times and spread it all over the car. So we do it once in the first place. It's, oops, got a little messed up, but I think we're okay. I'm just going to do that and say, yeah, we're okay. So now it's just this outer ring here to make it look like we have a rim on our tire. And you see how things got messed up there? I'm just going to undo it. And you can see how I got some clicks on the inside. I don't need these. It's okay to double click them because they already have that color anyways, but just going to click there with shift left click and then control left click, control left click, control left click, control left click. We'll color it. Boom, done, no problem. Tire's done. Tire looks pretty good. Move it into place-ish. So we're just going to go to this side where we can kind of see when it's out of place. So if somewhere around there, might be a little bit here or there. It doesn't have to be perfect. So when you're ready, Shift D it. We're going to go to this, and I'm just going to check which way to go, and we're going to hit that. And if you've moved it the wrong way, you can undo, but you should be okay now. And then I'm going to have to Shift D with this one. I'm going to drag it into the spot over here, and you can see the tires look a little big, so we might have to do this again. Might have to shrink them down a bit. It's just not leaving a whole lot of gap in between everything. So why don't we try... We'll delete this one, we'll delete this one, and we'll take this one and shrink it down again. Something like that. Seems a little bit more reasonable. Maybe I'm wrong, but depending on what you're making, I guess. If you're making a truck or something, you might want it bigger. But I think that's going to be good enough for us today. I think we're right good and centered. Not sure, but it looks pretty good to me. Why am I... Why am I not seeing everything here? Did I do something to this? Oh, I might have to go back a bit here. I might have done something to my menu. It's only showing like half the stuff right now. Oh, there it is. I don't know what I did. Oh, I did it again. Okay, now it's there. I don't know. Okay, let's shrink this down anyways. And get it to around where we wanted. I think it was around there. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what I did. I erased like half the menu over here. And I think it was this one. Yeah, I'm going to say it was. Oops. Oh, that's okay. We can just do that, then take away the minus. I forgot to duplicate it first. And we could do it this 2 ways, but since we got to kind of hand bomb it into place, we can just grab both at once. And then do our best to make sure it's perfectly centered on this. And you're not going to be able to see as well because there's only the dot above, basically. Maybe have a look at it from a couple different angles. Make sure it looks good to you. Looks good to me. Alright, so let's go move on to a car, I suppose, to put on top of it. So we're not going to do engines. We're not going to do a lot of the outside or the parts of the car. What we're going to really do is the body and probably the interior, I'd imagine. I might break this up into 2 episodes depending on how long it goes because I don't want to drag it on too long. So let's start off by making a cube. And we've got some new tricks to make this look a little better in the end. So we're going to experiment with that today. So it looks like it's almost centered. It's a little off, but I think that'll do. For the cab area, we want the front to be a little longer anyways, and the back to be a little shorter. So that might do for the area. Going to be a little bit experimenting until you get the right shape you want. You can use a template or something if it helps. I don't like to copy, personally. Don't like to copy other people's vehicles like 100%. Like I'll think of a car and try to make my own version of it. Something similar, but I don't like to just mimic other people's work. I don't think it's right. That's a personal thing. You're free to do it. You're welcome to do it. I don't have an issue with you doing it. Something like that. And then we'll just kind of stretch it out a bit. Kind of looks like a crappy Hummer right now. Gonna have to go over this way a little bit. So maybe we'll go a little bit longer to try to compensate for we're not so square. Something like this, right? You know, shorten the back end a bit. It's pretty square. It kind of looks like it needs to be a bit wider too. Cover up the tires a little more. Go a little longer. A little taller. Okay, obviously this doesn't look very good, but don't panic. We'll get there. We'll get her fixed up. Start off, we'll go back into edit mode, grab this top piece, and we'll go to the scaler. I'm just going to pull it together that way, and then we're going to pull it together this way. Okay, looking a little better, a little more like a car, obviously. We'll switch up here to edges, and if you're having troubles grabbing the face, you need to be on face, but we're on edges right now. And we're going to wind this sucker back like this, something like that. It's more front end of a car now. Cab's a little long. I'm not sure if I wanted quite such a long cab, but we'll make do. So first things first, I guess we would shift. Oh, sorry. We grab this car, go into edit mode again, and we control R. Let's switch to this mode so we can see what we're doing. Why is that not working? Oh, I'm on the tire, that's why. There we go. Shift R, right down the middle. Right click it to let it auto center. Switch the faces up here. Grab all the faces on one side of the car. You can choose which side you want to delete. This is what I do to do cars. This way it's exactly symmetrical. And then if you make minor adjustments, it'll be the same on the other side. Delete faces. Looks good. Okay. Getting a little more of the car shape. A little more of what we need to do. Looks a bit long, so let's shorten it just a hair. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to. Something like that. I think, actually. Not sure if I like where the cab goes on here, but we might just have to make do. I don't know. Or we can start over. I'm not sure. Let's go for now and see how far we can get on this and if it works out. So I'm going to start by just grabbing this edge and lowering it a bit. Just want to have a little bit of a lean onto the front of my car. Looking good. I'll grab the rest of these edges. Actually, just do it. Be fine, I hope. The top window looks a little big, but maybe I'm mistaken too. It might be alright. Let's try putting some curls in her. See what we're looking like. So obviously it's mangling the bottom shape of the window and car and so on. But we'll fix that up after, hopefully. Something like that looks pretty sporty. I think it'll be alright. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that one. Let's have a look. So it looks to be this one that's mostly out of shape. And that would be just about level. Something like that. Maybe we can lower this one a bit too, because it looks pretty whack. And this is what I mean about making minor modifications. It looks like we might have ripped a hole in that. Did we? No. This is the way it's looking. And we'll go in a little bit. I think it looks okay. Ooh, no it doesn't. Well, this might happen. Looks like I ran into an issue where we torn the front of the car. Let's go ahead, grab the thing. Oops, what did I just delete? Grab the thing. Just delete it if you have an issue like that. Sorry to have to start over like that, but it happens. Luckily, we're not too far in. We're only a couple steps in. Should be a quick fix. So maybe we'll try making this a little bit shorter first. Like so. And put a little more care into this cap this time. I think something like that will be big enough, but it's hard to say. We'll go with it for now. And it may take you a couple tries to get the right shape, but just keep trying. You're gonna get it eventually. Just gonna kind of take your time and keep going at it. Ooh, what just happened there? You know what I should have done? I shouldn't have just pulled it down like that. What I should have done is an E to extrude the face. And we'll do this. And we're going to shrink these two. That look right? I think that looks about right. Grab this one and just pull it down. Just a hair like that. Alright. Hopefully this car turns out alright, but like I said, it's going to be a little bit of playing around like this to try to figure things out and get the right proportions for the car too. So I think we want to be like a short back end like this would be the right proportions for the car. So maybe we'll switch out to here and we'll just kind of stretch it out like that. And then we'll drag it back. So maybe just a hair more longer. Take your time, make sure it looks right. I'm probably gonna break this into two, I imagine, because we're already getting in there because of my mess up. And I don't want you guys to have to sit through too much. Maybe you can take a break, get a Coke, do all that crap, come back, and finish the video. Something like that. That actually does look a little more proportionate. Obviously, it looks a little weird right now, but we'll make it look better. What we're looking for is a good proportion between the wheels and stuff. So that could be alright for the back window, but the front window needs to slick back a little bit more. Like so. And Gonna have to use your judgment, your personal judgment a bit on this stuff. I think that looks alright to me. Gonna give me back trouble because of this back wall back here. But maybe we can do something about that. Maybe we can go inside of the vehicle right now. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. I know this will work, but I don't know what happens when we modify the shape on the outside. So we're just gonna grab that, this, and this. We're gonna hit F. Just fill that gap. And that way, hopefully it changes with the car as it modifies, but I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just do it for the front too. And again, if it works, that's great. And if not, we can just delete this wall. We'll do the same thing, F. So now we have like an inner cab, basically. All right. So same steps as last time. We're going to hit Control R. Ooh. It's not going to let us do that, is it? Okay, we're going to edit and undo those moves. We got to undo that wall. And undo that wall. Okay, I think we're done. Then Control R. Right down the middle. See how it wouldn't let us do it after? Okay, now that we've done that, can we do this? Let's just do this. And just this side, right? And then we don't have to try to delete the face on the other side. We'll just leave it. And then we will go to faces up here. And delete them. Oops, I went to the wrong button, my bad. We want faces, my bad. Don't know why I did it that way. Alright, that should be all of them. Oh, I missed one. Alright, and you see we have our inner cap, so when we mirror this in the end, now it'll happen on the other side, hopefully. Alright, so let's try grabbing some edges. And you only want to grab these ones. You don't want to grab this one or this one. Sometimes it helps to put a little cut here. It helps keep the shape around the window. But we'll see what we can do and see if this looks alright first before we do that. Control B. Missed one. Here. Control B. Something like this. I'm going to have to decide on your final curvature. I think I'm going to go a little lighter this time, like that. I think that looks pretty sporty and pretty fun. Alright, and then we're going to grab this. Zoom in a little bit. And Control left click to grab it to there. Zoom out a little bit. Try to get this as straight as you can for your doors are going to look alright. Okay, we might have to move this up to do the next one because it's kind of covered up by the tire and stuff. Okay. So grab that one, grab this one, drag. We'll look from back a little bit to make sure it's kind of straight as you can. Perfect. The window's straight, that looks good. So we're going to Control R again, and this is going to be where the door ends. So you decide if you want it to go on an angle back, if you want it to be nice and straight. I'm going to do right there. Okay. Then I'm going to grab this angle, and I'm going to Control to, oops, grab that and Control to this one. And then delete, dissolve edge. I'm just going to get rid of the extra cut. We don't need it after we cut our door out. Delete, dissolve edge. It just doesn't need to be there. Okay? So that, ooh, yeah, I did modify this a little bit, eh? Well, you can always change the shape of that too if you need to. But I'm going to do something else now. Yeah. There's a couple different ways to do this. Usually I'd cut the holes out for the tires and then do the other side at the same, or mirror it to the other side, but we're not going to do that this time because we're having a little issue here. So let's go to our faces. And you can see that's not right. So we're just going to delete that face. We had an idea that might happen. Delete that face. You don't want to have any weird angles like that on your vehicle. It's going to just make things troublesome. Alright, so what needs to be done? Well, we need to take this door off, so let's Shift D it. Okay, Okay, I right-clicked it after to let it auto-center, and then I'm just going to drag it out a bit like this. I'm going to grab that panel and delete them. Alright, grab this, and we're going to hit I. We're going to do these together. Something like that. Okay. Then we're going to hit E. Just take it in just a hair like that. When you're done, we're going to hit L over this door. We're going to hit, what is it? I think it's Alt-E actually. Alt-E. Yeah, extrude along normals. And we're just going to let this go in a little bit like that. Just to give our door some sort of depth on it. Hopefully that works for you, and it's looking pretty good for you. Alright, so we're not going to cut the tires out, so let's go ahead and mirror this thing, I guess. We go to Add Modifier, and it went the wrong way, so we're going to unclick that and just click this. Okay? You may have that same issue, you may be on the right axis, it's going to depend where you started, and it's no big deal either way. We got it now. You might have to mess around. Make sure you turn off the old one when you try a new one. And when you're good, apply. Okay? So now we got that weird cut down the middle. Let's get rid of that. Go to edges up here. Alright. And we're going to have to end this video soon. It's gone pretty long, so I must have let go. Oops. So I'm just hitting Control and following this circle around. There's the last point, okay? And then we're going to delete, dissolve edges. Alright, we have a full car again, okay? But it has a nice shape to it now. So we're going to have to figure out where the tires are going to be on it. And maybe we'll do that in the next episode, and I'll stop here and we'll go into some more detail. Don't want to keep you guys too long. Right now we have a pretty decent car. Maybe we'll finish off with one thing, actually. I'm going to go to Faces, and we'll just cut out the windshield and the back window. I think we're safe to do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So not that one. That should be right. Count them on both sides. Make sure you have the same amount on both sides. You don't want to have extras. We did 3 on the back. So there we go. What's that? One more. Alright. I'm going to hit I. And then E. But we're not going to do anything. We're going to right click it, and then we're going to go to this, and we're going to ever so slightly drag it in. You can watch your edge there to make sure you didn't go in too far. Okay? And now we have a windshield on our vehicle and a back window. Perfect. Okay, so we'll come back in the next episode. We'll move on to headlights, taillights. We'll make a grill. And we'll keep on moving forward. We'll get this car done really fast. Thanks for watching today. Make sure you thumbs up the video for other people can find it and work with YouTube's wicked algorithm. And I appreciate you guys helping or coming to check it out. If you got a comment that you can help with, feel free to let me know in the comments, or you'd like to see something, feel free again. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.